morning. It is I, Story Grub, the unchosen one, here to remind you that life is but a dream, and everything you think and you see and you hear and you feel and you want and you need is an illusion. That's all. Today I'm trying something different, in that I'm wearing a blue sweater instead of all black. So, hope that doesn't throw too many people off. It's just a shirt. It's just cloth. I have a feeling today's going to be the greatest day of my life. I think it is already the greatest day of my life. I can't tell you why just yet. I just choose to believe that. It's so hard to draw with when the camera is like in front of the like when the camera's like sitting here and I'm trying to like draw around it like I usually draw. So this is actually way more comfortable. But y'all can't really see what I'm doing. But I'm not gonna do this forever. Most people prefer to not look at me at all. And I prefer to not be seen actually. But except for on special occasions like this one. In which don't I don't really care. So, but I want to finish this piece up. I got some good sleep in last night. After I got home from chasing livestock and stuff, you know. I always wake up in the strangest places and I'm in naked usually, and I don't know how I got there, and I have blood all over my mouth and everything, just guts full of bones, and you know how it is. Fridays, am I right? But today's Saturday, which means party time USA. I have to go to work in a few hours, so you all have fun. You all have a good time now. I got bit by a wolf when I was a child, and anytime there's a full moon, well, I think about that wolf. I think about that wolf and I say, I wonder what that wolf is up to. Probably, it was a gray, so probably like 350, 250, 350. That was 47 years ago. God damn, I miss him. Anyways, so I'm just finishing this up, and then I'll go inside and get ready for work. Actual, honest to God work, not this frivolous endeavor that I'm doing right here. It's very, very frivolous. But frivolity is the fruit of the gods, they say. At least one guy said that. One guy said that once. I just said it, so that's two. Hi. Hi, Moody. Moody. I'm feeling so moody. Moody. I used to live on a couch and there were a lot of moody cows. Cows are the coolest. They're just like, they're kind of like, you get to a certain age in your life and you're just like, whatever. I don't, give me a break. You know how cows have four stomachs, right? They have 17 hearts and four stomachs. It's just amazing. That's why when I was a kid, I wanted to be a cow. So I'm really jealous of you, Candy, because you get to be the sweets and the milk at the same time. Me? No, not too much. Mm-mm. When I was growing up, my name was Poop Popsicle. Mm-hmm. Sometimes not in that order. Because it depended. I mean, if it was hot out, it'd be Poop Puddle. But every Christmas, the little puddle turns back into a hanky. What was Hanky? He was an actual turd. That'd be funny if he was like if they did like a Hanky, Mr. Hanky version of like the snow, Frosty the Snowman. But every then he would like melt. Ugh, he'd diarrhea and he'd like melt. But every Christmas morning or afternoon, he would come back with a vengeance after everybody had their dessert. Ew, that's gross. And he would just like melt. It's just like I'm melting. I think it's coming along. Whoa. Who put that there? Oh, I did. So as you can see, oh shit, there you go. As you can see, that's pretty much it. You're amazing. You ever heard of the band Moody Blues? There's a song you should check out. It's called Tuesday Afternoon. And it always makes me feel really whimsical when I listen to it. When I was a kid, I didn't understand psychedelic. I guess I just didn't understand what kind of instruments they were using. And of course now I do. But back when I was a kid, I was just like, how are they making these noises? You know, it's just like magic to me. And I never thought in a million years I'd ever even be able to play a guitar, let alone, write songs or anything. But some of these guys are just there's that, there's this like Japanese dude that just started playing like trap music and stuff or something and he's like 76 years old. He just started doing it for the first time in his life or something like that. And he's getting all famous in Japan. I think that's rad. It's cool to know that outsiders can still sort of, get known within their own lifetimes in the way that they deserve, I think, There's a lot of people out there that deserve fame for being stupid and doing stupid stuff. Everybody has a place in this world, every artist. It can be really frustrating for a lot of artists when they try and try and try and nothing seems to happen, but then it's like you gotta that's when you gotta stop and smell the flowers and celebrate the small, the small wins, I guess. No matter how small they are, they will add up. I'm hard on myself. I hate saying I'm hard on myself. What? I I'm hard on myself. What? Do not say that ever again. um, just in the sense that I thought I would have been a lot further by the age of 45, as far as I thought I would at least have like an art studio to work in by the age of 45. But it's all my fault anyways, and my body for falling apart. And for not being smarter when I was younger, I think. So if you are young and you are creative or you're ambitious in any way, I would suggest surrounding yourself with reciproc people that are passionate but that will also listen to you and not try to take your ideas and change them or anything like that, it's important to stick to your guns, but you have to collaborate with people if you want to get places in this world. You can't go it alone like I tried. And I thought a lot of it was just that people would notice it because I was all by myself doing all of this stuff. But it's a different world now. Anybody, you can make a fucking movie in your bathroom now, I did. They're X-rated and they're on my OnlyFans page, but no, they're still movies. I showed them at Sundance. Or was that Skin Dance? I think that was Skin Dancer Ranch Festival. I'm just kidding. I don't do shout outs. I don't know what that means. I don't do shout outs. I'm sorry. If you're not even gonna do a shout out for me first before you want me to do a shout out for you. Like if you tell me what a shout out even means, like I might do it. Because where I am, it's like 6. It's almost 6 in the morning, so I can't like be shouting out here. It's like a garage. This is too loud. I shouldn't even be talking this loud. I just got to do clicking noises and whispers and smacks. And I like coffee. This is my friend Sleepy Seahorse. Homie's like, can I get a shout out? I'm out. I went into this town last night. I drove down there to San Luis Obispo. It's about 26 miles south of where I live. It's like the nearest like little metropolis with like an actual like cool little downtown area. And they were having. I planned on meeting somebody down there, to go hang out, but that kind of fell apart a little bit for me. But I'm glad I did it. Anywho, they were having like a Christmas parade down there last night, and it was like freaking mayhem. It was like Mardi Gras and stuff. It was like people just dressed in costumes and like Santa Clauses like fighting in the streets, like kicking each other's in the guts and stuff, like throwing elves at each other, like with reindeer horns on them, like stabbing each other in the head with them, and eyeballs just poking out of like back of people's noggins and stuff like that. It was just so awesome and like just beautiful. It was just the Christmas spirit was just abounding. Oh, I like doing that. This is how I used to draw up in Portland, because I would just sit here and I'd be looking at something I was trying to draw, because that was when I was using subjects to, like on my, images, various images from the internet to create my illustrations. This one is purely from the bottom of my ass. I mean, my heart, ass, heart, ass. So I'm gonna work. Oh shit! My phone's gonna fall off that thing. I know it. So this is a thumb thing right there, and I know you can't see it, but that's okay, because even if I zoomed in really close, somebody would still complain. So yeah, I'm talking about you, number 5. Okay, I see you. You're not as hidden as you think you are. What's that? I'm not talking to you, Grandma. I'm sorry. That's okay. Thanks. My grandma just chills out here, sleeps and stuff, walks around in the dark. It's weird because there's no lights on out here at all, and I'm still able to get this much light out of my phone. But otherwise, it's completely, absolutely pitch perfect black out here. And my grandma, of course, you can see in the dark. So she's fine, but me, I'm like stumbling around trying to finish this drawing. Grandma, where are you now? Right next to you. Oh shit! Oh my God, what are you? I did not even hear you breathing. And why do you sound like a Muppet? Because I'm you. But this morning, for work, I get to drive back down to San Luis Obispo because I work at a pet store. And I gotta go in there and I gotta wake up all the animals and let them out of their cages and let them loose on the streets to go get money for me. And so when they come back, I can like divvy out my earnings to the people up above me, and we keep all the pimps and the prostitutes happy. I mean the city of commerce and stuff, people, citizens. Totally legit place. Totally legit. I'm just gonna draw a finger like that. I know y'all probably don't care. But the finger is somebody's. They trim it nice and short, so I'm keeping it nice and short for this person. I don't know who this person is with this hand yet, but God damn it, I respect them. What are you saying? Thing, sons. Oh, really? Where do you live, Candy? If you're still there, if that is your name, Candy. Can I have some moody? Oh, thank you. Why so moody? Well, I don't know. Oh, darn it. That's how I picture like moody or like brooding or something like that. Is there like a praying mantis in my hair or something? Just trying to eat my head. I'm not gonna make love to you just so you can bite my head off and eat it. I learned my lesson from that the hard, the first hard, in the last life. I'm gonna do this. Put him holding something. I don't know what he's holding yet, but it's tubular. And I don't mean that in the in the cool way. But it is pretty cool. Oh my gosh. The first hand I've drawn in 15 years probably that has 4 fingers. I mean 5 fingers. See, I draw and never mind. It's just a stupid personal inside joke between me and him. Between me and me. So, I also have other good news and interesting news. Um, I don't know how many of you actually I don't come Louisiana? Cool. Right on. Welcome. Have you been here before? Because if you haven't, I and you are from Louisiana. Well, I don't know why I'm laughing like that. Honestly, it's a little bit gross, and I do apologize. But if you're from Louisiana, I wrote a song about Louisiana, oddly enough, just about 20 minutes ago, and it goes a little something like this. Louisiana, I met a girl named Anna in Louisiana. See, I mean, it's funny how that kind of stuff works out every once in a while. And the name of Anna's dog was named Candy, and that dog was super moody. What the? Huh? Like what? How, what? How do I? Just, where was this? Oh, right there. How, oh, no, that's the garbage. That's not gonna stay there. I don't know what to do with this now. I don't know what to do with this now. No, I can't. I was drawing. How do I draw? No, not with the ukulele. That's for sure. Who the fuck are you? Tell me what I. Sorry. Back to the funny business. Where it all began, my friends. Down deep, deeper into the chasm of dismay. Oh, hold on. It's okay, sorry. That's better. Sometimes you gotta rough it up a bit, you know? My process is like, you gotta take the paper, gotta put it on a thing like this, a board, some kind of board with clips on it, preferably clips that make noise, like that, You want people to really know what you're doing. I think I just totally cut the paper too doing that, and outside that means I gotta do it on the side too. Oh shit, that was even louder. I'm really sorry. Oh, I did not mean for that to be so loud. that just broke the fourth wall for me. And yep, I just did a puddle all over the ground. Damn it! It's not cold enough to freeze either. It's okay. I'll still write a song about it. No, no harm, no doubt. No doubt? No doubt. No farm, no foul? Whatever they say. Oh my god. I mean, it looks like a. People always ask, like, people come on here and they're like, I see a butt or I see an ass. And I'm like, well, there's a dick right in the middle. Don't you see that? There's a dick right there. I didn't even remember drawing a dick, but there is one. It's like a nose dick. And this one has arm penises coming out of its armpits. Like, I don't even know. And then the Marlboro Man is just like, I can't even pronounce his goddamn name. He's so elusive. He's just chilling there with a. Oh. I can't wait to be on some little cloud on high, just looking down at other people and laughing at them the way they're laughing at me. Oh, happy Saturday, everybody. Happy goddamn Saturday. We're all in it together, right? How about that? How about them apples? I mean, if life is a barrel and we're the apples, there's gonna be some bad apples. But we're all in that barrel together, drowning, my friends. And, okay, I thought you said Sunday, and I'm like, oh shit, is it Sunday? It's like, today's my day off. If that's, I don't even look at my schedule. I don't even know if I work tomorrow because I just don't care. Like, it just doesn't matter. It's not like I ever make plans. I was gonna say something, and then I said something else, just in case anybody was wondering. I remember that much. I remember that much. I went to Grover Beach yesterday, which is a town about 10 miles south of San Luis Obispo. So San Luis Obispo is. Shut up, Sleepy. You're so loud. You're so distracting. I'm too stoned. Um, San San Luis Obispo is 30 miles away from here. Grover Beach is about 10 miles south of that. So that means Grover Beach is about 75 miles from where I live right now. And where I live right now is about 55 miles from San Luis Obispo, which, if you say it's San Luis Obispo, it's 26 miles. If you say San Luis Obispo, it's about 75 miles. But Grover Beach is about 15 miles north of that. So, I went down to Grover Beach to the record store where they have my art and my music in it and stuff. And it's called Phantom Stranger Records, if you want to look it up. Phantom Ranger Stranger Ranger Records. And um, I was like sort of like I went in there to talk to the owner. I met him recently at an art festival, and I have this idea for a film where 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 I play a well, I've been playing this character a lot since like about 4 or 5 months ago or something like that. This he's like it's a cowboy, and I only started acting like you can kind of go back in my music videos and stuff. I guess I was sort of technically I was acting in everyday life, for even like customer service and like grocery shopping. You have to act to a certain degree. You have to put on a mask everywhere you go. But um, I only like really started taking it sort of. It sounds silly because my videos are just absolutely ridiculous. But I started taking it a little more serious recently, and having more fun with it. I guess. But anyway, so that's where Blight sort of popped out. I don't know where he even came from. I just wanted to do a parody of like I wanted to write a song in a country western vein that was just like them making how people like hip hop artists will be like talk about where they're from or like how much bling they have, and it's just the shit that they're surrounded with, like an artist does. They'll write about what they know kind of stuff, or this sort of stuff, or what's hot if they don't know firsthand anyways, because there's a lot of fakers out there. But in all genres, I don't just mean hip hop. I wasn't saying that. So yeah, I had this idea to do like this song a while ago, and it was like I think I called it "Jesus is my president" or something, and it was just like this hillbilly dude, and I kind of just gave him a quick name. His name's Blight Chokum, obviously playing off of Dwight, and Excuse me. So, coffee. Where's my coffee? That's a candle. Oh, candle. Um, so yeah, then I got this idea just to write this stupid song, and it was the first thing is I'm shit kicking, truck flipping, you know, I don't know, all this stupid shit. I can't even think about it now, but it was like this like rant, but it was just like a set to like a boom boom tsh, boom boom tsh. And he was like, I'm a shit kicking, a boom boom picking. Like, and then I ended up writing like two other songs for him. And by then I was just like absolutely enthralled with this character because he's like this weird, charming country western star that like is not Christian. That was Christian, but then like had a falling out with God or something, and like is soul searching or something, you know. And it's he's just a really funny. I like him, and so I pitched this idea to this dude about like doing like a fake, like a documentary style film about this fake character, you know, named Blight. And he would it would basically be like a tour movie, like he would be going on tour, whether it's like just going to a few shows locally or actually going on an actual like leg, like a 5 show tour, like LA and back. I want to play in Bakersfield, where like there was this back in like the day there was this they call it the Bakersfield Sound, and it was the nemesis of Nashville back in the day. So they get all these like Western country artists out here, like Merle Haggard and Buck Owens and stuff, and they're like complete like outlaws out here and shit. Like Bakersfield, California was nuts back in the day, and it still is. Like it's I was reading this thing yesterday that said that it's kind of like the country western version of Portland in California. It's weird because there's all these, and I want to go there. I mean, I want to check it out because a lot of my songs. I mean, I certainly don't look the part, but once I get up in my, you know, once I get in my Wranglers and my Ropers and I fit on my little accent and I grow out some facial hair, I think what I would do is grow for like because I would want to be him the entire time for like a week or two or more if during filming. So I would have a handlebar. I would do like a handlebar mustache and all that kind of stuff. And I don't like the idea of growing hair on my face, but it grows no matter what. It doesn't grow on my head anymore. But hey, passer, me, it'll be Sunday for you. Cool. So yeah, I was just I don't know how when you just came on, pastor, but um yeah, I ended up going down there and talking to that dude about the movie, and he was like actually, because like at first you know he was like kind of playing it cool, like you know yeah, sure, and kind of feeling it out. I could tell because I sent him like a pretty direct idea of it, like in a like a quick little synopsis, like if I was pitching it to like a studio or something, you know. And so I went in there yesterday, and I almost chickened out going down there. I almost made up some excuse, but I'm like, no, gotta freaking do this. You just gotta keep going. You can't start. You can't because every time I do that, make up excuses and stuff, I just feel like I'm taking a step back in my life, you know, or like going falling back into that person I used to be. I don't want to do that. Plus, that's not how to progress. So I went in and I talked to him, and by the end of the conversation, it was just like it was on. He was like, "I'm going to talk to my friend, he who lives in Bakersfield." So this guy knows exactly what I'm trying to. The guy in Bakersfield, I think, will know exactly what I want to do, what I'm trying to do, and the dude at the record shop, Patrick, he was sort of, and I'm not gonna, you know, this is all hypothetical. Anything can happen. This could not happen too, but it's just really exciting that even people are that he wanted to talk to me, and then he was like, "Yeah, man." It sounds like he would sort of like back it if it did work out, um, financially, if we needed like a budget, because there's certain things like certain what we would do. It would be like more like a jackass sort of setup, or like you know I bring up the Borat thing, but only at as far as like the camera shots or and the basic premise of like a fish out of water sort of scenario, but also the owners of these venues that I would be playing in would know what's going on, but the people in the establishment wouldn't. So like the reactions of the crowd and people around me would be absolutely real. And they would be reacting to him and I would be reacting to them. I would be in character the entire fucking time. And it, if I'm a country western star talking about, having a falling out with God, there's chances that I might get into like some gnarly conversations. But I don't care. I think that's something that needs to be done. I think it needs to be done. Patrick, yes. And sitting in there talking to him about this idea, and there's this kid in there, this young man, uh, and I forget, darn it, he had a cool name. I forget his name. But I was trying to tell him about this. I said, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. And he's like, do you have an Instagram? I'm like, yeah, I do. I just don't ever use it. I do, but it's not as fun as YouTube. um, so he's going to talk to the dude in Bakersfield for me and get that ball rolling. And I really hope that guy contacts me, or at least, because if they were to both contact me and be like, this sounds like something we both are interested in, then my mind, that will allow a world of things to start coming out of me, because I have to keep things inside of me pinned to the fucking, like a butterfly pinned to the, whatever those things are called, a cork board or something. Um, and it's torture. It's torture to me having so many, and a lot of these ideas aren't even great. It's just, but they're just, some of them are funny, or things that would go well in a movie, or if you put them all together, like I have all these ideas for sketches, for example, not drawings, but actual like skits and stuff like that, sketch comedy. And on their own, they're kind of like, yeah, like dad jokes. They're like, okay, whatever. But you put them all together, and you could like create some kind of, you glue them all together with something like a story. And then you got something going. And that's with Blight. That's how it is for me, where I can think so fast. I can't do it now, but I can think pretty quickly off the cuff when I'm in character like that, because being in character, like, it's just so stupid. I'm like describing what an actor is. I'm like, obviously people know what an actor is, dude. You don't have to describe what an actor is. It's like I'm just new to all of it, so I'm having to discover all of this acting stuff on my own, like, because I've acted in high school and things, and just some stupid things here and there. But when I really think about Blight and like Nan Nan Pearl and like Lean Scavs and these other characters, they all have lives, and they all have like feelings and emotions, and Blight is like super nice and kind and he's very charming, and it's just really fun to be them, because you just really just get this. And I would love to just be him for like weeks, or I mean, it's not gonna like take weeks to be him, but I would have to sort of, or to film. I mean, or whatever. I'm all over the place. So it sounds like it could happen. And I can ride a horse too, and I can like rope and stuff. So like, I think it'd be funny to like to set up things in public, where like controlled situations where I'm like, I have like a lasso, and I'm like walking down the street, and like somebody like steals a purse, and I like lasso them. Didn't Dundee do that? He did something like that, or he threw it. No, he threw a. What was that? It wasn't a lasso, but I'm sure Dundee did something like that. He just stopped the. That's not a knife. That's not my wife. That's my wife. So, anyways, that's really exciting for me, because I honestly, in my head, I see this Blight Chokum thing being like, because I want to record an album under his name. I want to like go on tour as him. I mean, these are just the grandiose things now, but they would all feed each other. Like if I were to work with these guys and something cool happened, like a little bit of exposure or something like that happened, we could focus on an album, or a tour where we would record. And then, like, if the thing that we filmed before was maybe shorts, or like a episodic thing, or even like a short film, then we could go on a big tour and actually film with a bigger crew. And I could get friends from my friend from Idaho to play accordion with me or something like that, and we could just make really really interesting, like, creative decisions. Because you could just take over a place for a night, and on a tour. While you're on stage, you can do kind of like whatever you want. So you can throw bricks through the windows. The owners of establishments do not care. When I was in Idaho, I burned down the establishment after I was done playing an acoustic set in an open mic show. and I called it closed mic. I said this open mic is closed. And after I was the first one on the list, and I went up there, I lit my guitar on fire, smashed it on the stage, and there was a bunch of other like little firecrackers I put in the sound hole, and they were exploding on the stage, and people are running for their lives because they thought that it was like a gun or something, which is like ridiculous because I would never hurt anybody. But then I burned the place down, and I cursed them all to hell. So, but that's rock and roll. That's how we. That's how we rock and that's how we roll. Everybody knows that. Like Keith Moon was doing that in the 30s. On the moon. That's why the moon is like missing half of its. It's like a crescent. That was Keith. Besides, everybody knows that the moon's not a circle, it's a crescent. When it's full, it's just an illusion. The best thing you can do, friends, is just be honest with yourselves, okay? Just so you know. Anywho. See? See? You see? I like this song. See, and then this is my buddy Sleepy Seahorse. And he has a whole shtick that he did in Boise, and he was fearless with what he did. And we actually played with him. He's recorded music with me and stuff, but me and my band would go up and play fake instruments on stage while he played a pre-recorded set list on his computer, and he would sing over the top of this stuff, but we would all just be playing these like weird ass instruments with ski masks on stage, and just it was the funnest time ever. I almost knocked my other tooth out because I was playing a melodica without the tube. I was just blowing directly into the end of it, and like I hit something and it jammed that thing in my mouth and nearly knocked my fucking tooth out again, or this one. But Joey was just like, he's cutthroat. And that's the thing, if I ever get any kind of like anything, it's like, I will live in a fucking cardboard box like that fucking philosopher from Rome or whatever, you know? Or was it Greece? Was it Rome? Yeah, because the emperor was jealous of him. I forget what his name was. Sisyphus? Sisyphus? The dude that lives at Oscar the Grouch, you know, the philosopher, Oscar the Grouch. Now I'm thinking about that. Now I'm thinking for some reason I'm thinking of Julius Caesar, and that has nothing to do with that dog, Oscar the Grouch. Life sucks. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, Joey. Like, if I were, I don't know, to build like some kind of thing out of my ideas ever, and they came to fruition or something, you know. I have like a handful of friends that would never have to work a day again in their lives. They would never have to work a day job. And he's one of them. I would just give him a shitload of money and be like, raise your son and make some music. And anymore, I guess that's really what I'm just striving for. Like I was saying, I'll live in a little mobile home down the street so I can give my friends their dreams. And I've been trying to do that for so long. And then it's hard too because I'm trying to have people in my bands, and like when they just weren't pulling their weight, and I'm like, you realize I'm trying to change your life too, right? You realize I'm trying to make this to where like you and me and all of us can go on tour together and not have to work day jobs for the rest of our lives. And then you can go and do whatever the fuck you want, but like, can we just do this first? Can we just change our lives first? No? Okay. I have to do it all on my own? Okay. Got exhausting. Being the only one that seemed to care. That's why I'm not in a band now, I guess. It's like being in a family. Gosh, yesterday was the 6th of December, and in San Luis Obispo, it was so nice. I mean, it's by the ocean and everything, but it was so beautiful last night. Outside, it wasn't cold, and it was very, very for being so close to winter. I lived here when I was a kid, in '97, and um, it was cold at night. It would get hella cold. I remember. Of course, I didn't wear like, I didn't know understand the importance of like thermals and things like that back then, or dressing warmly. Sorry if I'm missing messages, guys. Parker, thank you. That's nice. What's the next time you live? I go live kind of like every day. I don't really. I usually go at night around 7 or 9 or 11 or 12. No, usually around like 8 or 9 or something like that. But I usually go on in the mornings usually too, and then midday I'll go on, and then around brunch too, and then and mid brunch, and then brunch or square. People call it brunch. I call it square brunch. I don't know why I do that. I thought it sounded cool at first because I just wanted to be different. I wanted to be different than anybody else, so I started calling it square brunch. But it didn't catch on at all, and now people just ignore me. All the brunch people just ignore me. But I probably deserve it. Wasn't It's not fair. It wasn't fair that I did that to them. Okay, let's draw. I don't want to think about that anymore. I don't want to let the darkness in this morning. I want to be the light. You know that you can whistle in and out? You go. It's fun, and it helps you whistle more. It makes you dizzy faster, though, so you gotta be careful if you're doing it while you're driving or riding a bike or operating heavy machinery. I highly recommend it. Get it? Highly? Because I have a friend named Kylie, and I rhyme everything with that. It's funny. This is a ukulele. This is a shirt that I'm pulling it down because it looks like I look like a fucking like a I'm from the start like a federation or something like that. Captain, welcome aboard. Aye, aye, Captain. I started playing the ukulele in December of 2006. I I went up to the San Juan Islands over in Washington, and um, I lived up there for a month in this little cabin, and with my friend and his family, like his mom and his stepdad, in their little cabin, and we were like snowed in. It was insane, and you couldn't even go outside because it was so cold. We'd go outside to smoke a cigarette, and you could only like smoke two drags because it was so cold. It would just go right through you. And so we were literally in this house for like five. We were there for an entire month, but eventually it got better. But like for like 5 days, it was just I had never experienced anything like cabin fever before that, and that was when I was still uh, quite a little drinker, and so was my friend's mom. So we would drink a lot of wine. She had a shitload of wine, and I would just drink wine all day. I would wake up and just start. I would drink coffee, and then by 11 o'clock, I was drinking wine. Um, and I was an awful, awful drunk. I would be really mean to my friend, and I mean, not like vicious, but I was, you know, at times I could be quite a dick, and there were definitely times when I was more than that, like awful, awful. But nothing super crazy happened up there except that I was just like mean a couple times, like here and there. Anyways, his mom is a musician. They're a very theatrical family. His dad's in the arts and stuff like that. My friend Luke, he's like an actor too, filmmaker kind of guy. Anywho, his mom, Miley K. She's from lived a long time in Hawaii, so they're all like Hawaiian and shit. But she had all these like awesome Martin uh, um, ukuleles, like different sizes. Like I think the tenor is the soprano is the smallest one, I think, and then the tenor is the next one, or maybe vice versa. But she had like the really small one, and then the next size up too. And so I had just listened to this band. I had only read it. I used to read about bands a lot, but then I'd never heard them because I didn't listen to the radio a lot back in 2005, 2006. So, anyways, I didn't know what this band sounded like, but then I had read about them. They're called Beirut, and when I was up in the islands, I heard the song "Postcards from Italy," and I remembered reading about these kids, and it was like his name's Zach Condon from Beirut, or the band's called Beirut. He's from New Mexico actually, and they have ties with like the whole Elephant Six people too, and like Huck and a Hacksaw and those cats and stuff. So, like the drummer for Neutral Milk Hotel plays percussion for Hawk and a Hacksaw, and are they know Zach Condon's older brother or something like that. They're all kind of tied together. So, anyways, Zach had some connections, and I think yeah, the dude from Neutral Milk Hotel played the drums on Postcards from Italy. I don't know if anybody knew that, but anywho, yeah. So I think his name's Nick. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. I used to be into all that stuff, but anywho, yeah, I listened to Postcards, and the first thing is just him opening up with the ukulele, and I'd heard the other. It was on MySpace. I was listening to it on MySpace, and there was like four songs you could post or something, and it was like the second one, and I had listened to them all, but then that one, I was just like, what the fuck? I was just like blown away by it. Just the recording of it, the way it sounded, and the trumpets and the ukuleles, and I was just like, I beelined it upstairs for like her little Martin ukulele, and I went downstairs and I looked. She had a chart with the chords and everything, and I started learning how to. I just learned how to play the ukulele. I'd never played before, and I transitioned tons of my songs from guitar to ukulele after that. But Postcards is shit. See, I'll get copywritten. I think if I do anymore. Something like that. But that's a great song. And I love the percussion in it and everything. And I would just like get drunk and listen to it in this little room that I was staying in down there in the basement. And just blast it because I was just like cabin fever. I couldn't do anything. I felt so isolated, but this song was just like showing me like that there was a universe beyond. So, anyways, that's my ukulele story. Actually, we went. My friend opened up these coffee places called Dutch Bros. He would go to them, and when they were doing these grand openings, and he would like film and stuff, and then later on cut it together. And he worked for them for a long time. We have family. We have ties with that company, friendly ties, and I I still do too. But Luke, yeah, we went to Spokane in December, in that December, and I took the uke with me, and again, it was just Spokane was just that's in Washington if you didn't know, but there was a huge snowstorm that winter, because I was just in the Solomon Islands and it was like snowed in and stuff, but outside the hotel there were just sheets of ice everywhere. So I was for 7 days. I was just like in this fucking hotel room, and then I had major cabin fever there too. And that was the thing with me. If I was drinking and cooped up, then I was like a ticking time bomb. I think that's the case with a lot of drunks. So I would just get like super volatile and just like a ticking time bomb. And thankfully, most of the time I would just pass out or something. But it got a lot worse over the years. So I stopped. Um, but yeah, I remember trying to go outside and just go across the street to get like cigarettes or something, and I fell down like 7 times on the way over there because I had like these crappy like skater shoes or something, and um, the ice was just so slick. I should have just sat down and just like skated there, but then I would have gotten run over by a reindeer. You know that would have happened. So yeah, this is something I usually don't do. I usually don't show my face very much on here, and there's reasons. But hey, Hannah. um, but yeah, I think I might start showing myself a little bit more because something in me is changing again, and I'm tired of acting like I don't exist when I do. So, um, and there's a little hair in my mouth, and I'm gonna acknowledge you. I see you. I don't want to eat you again. I don't want to eat you again. I'm sorry. That was probably really terrifying for you. I see you. Go. Be Harry. Be Harry. Is a hair Harry? Or is it just a hair? That's weird. It's something. Man, that's gonna mess with me. Last night we were at this parade downtown in San Luis Obispo, and it was insane. I took pictures and everything too, but we were sitting up on this like ledge of this window of this business overlooking the crowd, kind of. And I was wearing, you know, sort of this. I'm wearing a skirt right now, but I had nice steel-toed boots on and stuff because homie don't play that. But there was a man that was actually killed down here in a hate crime, uh, recently, about 2 weeks ago. He was killed because he was gay in San Luis Obispo. So uh, it's something that happens, and just don't. I don't understand people. But I remember I was standing on this ledge, next to this person that I was with, just with, and we were looking at the parade. And at one point, there's people all over the place, so just thousands of people. But then there's people like right down below me too, like doing stuff. And at one point, I see this mom and like this baby, this cart come over, and she parks the thing right in front of me. So like my boots, like like I say, if this is my well, how would it be you? Well, I basically I looked down and my boot was right next to this baby's head. All of a sudden, it's sitting in this thing, and I looked down and I'm like, shit, and I was just like froze because I move around a lot when I'm standing around. I kick and I just stomp and I I'm weird. I'm like a horse or something. I don't know. You ever seen a horse just try to stand there? They can't do it. They're just like all jittery and they stomp and they and they fart and they shit and they poop. Mainly just all that. Apparently, wag their tail. They spit at people. Did you know that horses actually can't vomit? It's true. They don't have the capability of vomiting. Um, so, but yeah, I told my friend, I was like, hey, should I tell her that I'm wearing steel-toed boots? Because I just looked down and all of a sudden this mom put this little baby's head right in front of my boots, and I'm just like, what the fuck? But then obviously she was just really. I realized that she was just very distracted, and she was a mom, you know, and she was having a moment, and so then I was just like, oh shit, she's having a moment, and then she walked away, but she left the carriage there, and she said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, no, no, that's fine. And in all this chaos around us, I said something like she came over and she's like, I'm really sorry I put that in front of you, or because the baby was gone now, but she left the cart there. And so she's like, sorry, I did that. And I'm like, no, no, no. I'm like, hey, do you want me to? Because I was on this ledge and I'm like thinking, if you do you need do you want to sit here? Like, you can have this spot. And so I let her know that because she was like apologizing to me. And at first, because it was just kind of funny because somebody just puts a baby's head in front of your boot. Like, the imagery was just funny. But it wasn't like I was like upset or thought she was a bad mom or something. Um, but then she was like, when she was apologizing, it's like when people apologize to me, I'm just like, oh man, you don't ever have to apologize to me. Especially like a mom just hanging out or doing something for her kid right there. It's just like, you don't have to apologize to me. Like, what kind of world do we live in where a mom has to apologize for taking care of their kid, like, you know, in a public setting? It's like, no, if anything, I am sorry I didn't offer up my spot for you like immediately. What the hell's wrong with me? It's like, that's the kind of thing, you know? That's how the world should be. And if the world was more like that, I think there'd be a lot less assholes and a lot more elbows. At least that's what they say in the good books, or at least that's what I choose to believe they say. Yeah, and it ended up being kind of a cool night. Just I was not enjoying myself because of the person I was with. I'll just be perfectly honest. They were very negative, and I did not enjoy myself with them. I am super duper hard on myself. I said it again, hard on, but I'm tough on myself. And I don't need somebody to just critique every little thing I say and turn it against me like they know who I am at all. Like when I'm joking around and they twist it around to make it seem like I'm being a jerk for even making this weird. It's just I don't have time for that kind of. I don't have time. I'm not gonna do this. Plus, when they like talk over you and don't listen to a word you say, and you have to repeat yourself a lot, and they're just not. They're not even like. It was not fun in that way, but the town was really pretty and the spirit, all the people and everything was really neat. But it was just kind of chaotic too. Cause yeah, being with somebody that you're not really, you don't vibe with, is just on top of all this other chaos that's going on. Is just kind of like, not my cup of tea. And it just sort of reminds me of why I don't do that kind of stuff. Where I don't, because I mean, me trying to find somebody like my ex girlfriend who I was with for like almost 9 years. I like until I could find somebody like her again because she's not offended easily. She doesn't go with the flow. She's not like one of those people that jumps on a bandwagon. She like does all this fucking research on her own. Like she's hella smart. She's super creative. She's very, very kind. Like I don't even know why aren't we together? Why aren't we together? Because I was a dipshit, and this is all I ever wanted. This is all I wanted to do. I wouldn't even go for walks with my girlfriend. I wouldn't even go for walks when she asked me to go on walks with her, like a fucking idiot. That's the kind of shit that I regret a lot. Because I was with her for so long. She deserves somebody like that, like hmm, that would show her, like, you know, I love her a lot, and I hate that I did that. I wasn't like vicious, but I spent a lot of my time just trying to like get my art out into the world, and I just ignored people that I loved, and you know, as one does. But her and I are like best friends now, so I can't complain too much. But I just feel bad because I feel when she needed me, I wasn't there for her. And that just makes me mad at myself. Because I'm not the same person I used to be. But can't go around feeling like that all the time. Not when you got things to do. On that note, I gotta go. Song. Jesus? Who's Jesus? Which Jesus are you talking about? Are you talking about Jesus from the Quran? Jesus from the Quran, right? Right. You know Jesus was in the Quran. He was a prophet. He was a prophet of Muhammad. So which Jesus are you referring to? The one that killed babies during Passover, or the one that wouldn't allow women in church or to speak in church? That Jesus? Did you read your book yet? How do you know Jesus loves me? You don't even love me. These are questions you should all ask yourselves before you come to somebody's channel and assume anything about them. I think it's rude to go to somebody's channel and do that. It's not, it's just really silly. Because no, Jesus doesn't love me. In my experience, from what I'm gathering, Jesus is just the universe, and the universe isn't about love or feelings or your precious little soul. It's about everything and anything coming and going all at once. God isn't in a book. God is everything, everywhere, all at once. God is you. If Jesus was a person, that was him too. Jesus is in my coffee cup. God is in the water heater. There's sediment that rises in the water heater, and it makes these knocking noises. To where the water heater seems like it's just gonna explode. And I say, Jesus, and it says, yes, son. And I say, thank you. Thank you. Because you know what that sediment does when it rises? It walks on the tip of the top of that water. So you got to take that water. You got to rise above. You got to do some knocking, friends. You just got to go out there and do some knocking with that agenda. You got to go out there and you got to spread that agenda. You go out there and you go door to door, guys, right now, and you got to spread that agenda. Then you go around and say, there's a big agenda out there. Yeah, they just want to exist. It's funny to me that people who have all the power complain and like are the biggest victims. Like Christians, you already fucking won. It's like in your book. It's in Revelation. Jesus wins. So like, what do you have to like? Why are you guys? I don't understand why Christians are like the big victims. They don't say Merry Christmas anymore. Yeah, but in the Bible, you guys won. So what does that have to do with anything? It's like there's like spoilers or something like that. You know, it's like spoilers. You won. And then guess what happens? Jesus gives the devil back to earth for like a couple thousand years, according to the Bible. And they let the devil come back. They let loose the devil to come back and wreak havoc on us for another 1,000 or something years until then Jesus comes back again. It's the weirdest shit in the world. What kind of God would do that? I don't understand. Like, why, it's one thing to come here and we could have a conversation about those sorts of things. But then people will come here and just be like, Jesus loves you. And I could be like, Satan loves you. Satan loves you. And I think you got to practice what you preach. I am not a Christian, but I'm more Christian than any other Christian I ever met in my fucking life. And I have receipts. So until you can prove that you even like are a Christian, don't come to me saying that Jesus loves me, please. That's just rude. Especially when I've read the Bible, and apparently you have not. You just like catchphrases and bumper stickers and shit. Jesus loves you. Or what's he doing for the people over in Palestine right now? Does he love them? Or does he hate them because they're a different religion? Or what does he think about all the children in Flint, Michigan drinking poison out of their fucking lead pipes for the past 50 years? No politician has ever gone over there and helped them. Jesus love them? Or is he poisoning them? I don't know. Devil? Or is it God working in mysterious ways? Jesus loves you. Good on you, mine. I don't love Jesus, friends. I love you. I love my mom, my neighbors. I have family, friends, pets. I love them. Most of them I would die for. Only my cat I would die for, to be honest. But I would happily give my life for my friends and my family because I know them, I love them, and I trust them. And there's people that I would probably do it for. Strangers, too. I have not met a Christian in many, many years that even begins to sound like a Christian according to what how they perceive it is not what they don't practice what they preach is what I'm trying to say. So go at them. Don't come to people like me and telling me that God loves me. Because I'm on my own path and I'm finding God and God's in here and God's in you. It's in your heart. It's not some dude with hair or balls wearing a robe. He's not white, he's not black. He's not some fucking ghost. He's you. Start acting like it. Fuck. Sorry, but it's just annoying. Sorry, folks. Lord works mysterious ways. See, this is exactly what I was talking about with Black Shokum. It would be something like this would happen on stage in front of a bunch of cowboys. And I would put the fear of God in those cowboys. And then they would kill me out back by the dumpster. So, yeah, it's a win-win, I think. Hey, any publicity is bad publicity. Any publicity is bad publicity. Anyways, God bless you all. I love you very much. Jesus loves you, and you know, that's it. That's all. No, I really do have to go though. There's some candles burning, some incense boiling, and some magical stew coming up hot. Oh, Satan loves y'all. Okay, Satan loves you. Have a good day, Satan. Oh shit, I gotta read some of these messages. Candy, you met me at a very strange time in my life. See you guys. Hey, and if you guys follow God, you know what I mean. It's just like I'm not knocking it. I just think it's a very, very, very personal thing for everybody. It's like coming to my channel and doing the thing where it's like you ask if I'm gay by just looking at the tips of my fingernails. It's like just rude. And I wouldn't go into somebody's house and be like, "My God loves you." It's just like the rudest thing I can think about to do to somebody else. And no, if you fucking do your God thing or if you follow God or you book or whatever you do, that's fine. But I just think it's rude to do that. That's all. And then when you call people out on it and they don't ever say, they just go to these channels, they just go find all these live things and that's all they do. And like little trolls or like little bots or something. And it's like, it's not even for them that I'm talking about it anymore. I'm just trying to tell people that I think that that is silly because you don't walk into somebody's house and just talk to them like that or disrespect people. And in my opinion, that is disrespectful because God, I mean, like I've said before, I don't know how many Christians there are in the world, but like every one of them has a different interpretation of what that is, what Jesus is, what God is, what heaven is, what hell is, what Satan looks like, all that shit. If dogs go to heaven, if cats go to hell, whatever. Everybody has a different interpretation of it. Not one person, not even in a family. I believe me. So it's just crazy to me that people think that they can just, oh, I'm on this team. There's no fucking teams. God is not on your fucking side. Time isn't even on your side. You know, you have a few shots at this fucking game, and you got to take them. You can't rely on other. You can't rely on at least you can't rely on deities to like fix you. You know, it's one thing to pray. I don't pray to God. I don't kneel kneel before monsters that murder babies and work in mysterious ways and shit. No, I you know, fuck that. It's ridiculous. So, anyways, on that happy note, I love you.